Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. As promised, I am going to be doing the Q&A video today, and in the midst of all this hassle of COVID-19 and stuff, I have been stuck at home. We can't go anywhere, so I thought, why not just shoot a video to just keep the thing moving instead of just getting bored studying and just taking a break from studying. So that is what I'm doing today. I made an Instagram story, I think 2 days or 3 days ago, and I made a question poll so you guys can submit all your questions for me to answer through this video. I hope this video is not very long. I hope it's quite short enough, but hopefully we'll see how it goes. If it's too long, I might just off it and do part 1 and part 2, but we'll see how it goes. I got quite a few questions from Instagram that you guys wanted to know, and we'll just start from the first one, which says, would I honestly recommend pharmacy? That was the first question. Okay. Personally, yes, I would definitely recommend studying pharmacy if that is what you have a passion for and if that is what you want to study. I always say something to people around me that even if you're studying any degree you're studying for, if you don't have passion for it and you're just doing it for doing its sake, you would definitely struggle. So the best bet is, aside from people recommending that something is a good course, something is a good career and things like that, think to yourself, what do I actually like? What do I actually want to do? What do I see myself doing in the long run? Because choosing a university degree is not something that you feel like you're just going to do for 6 months at the end of your degree and forget about it. Do you see yourself doing that career, going through that career pathway for a long time? So that's one of the things that should help you to decide what qualification you want to go for, what degree or what career pathway you want to go. But to answer your question, I would definitely recommend pharmacy, and this is few reasons. I'll just touch on it quickly. Is pharmacy is a very broad degree where once you graduate you can actually do anything. You don't, these days now, you don't have to just work in a community or hospital. You can work in different areas. There's now GP pharmacies, we have pharmacists in the industry, we have pharmacists now into cosmetics. It's that very interesting roles coming up for pharmacy. Like, it's very broad. I've actually seen some pharmacy work in a business company as well. So you just have to find what works for you, and if you don't want to have patient contacts, there are other routes as well to pharmacy. So that is why I would recommend pharmacy. And the next question is, how do I shoot and edit? That's a good question. I shoot my video like this, where I have my light standing. Edit, I use the Wondershare Filmora to edit my videos. However, I'm still learning, because one thing I hate about this is editing videos, but it takes time and takes a lot of time to, you have to learn how things work and things. So I am still learning, so I wouldn't say I'm a professional yet. So, and another question I got was, do I like horror movies? No. I detest, if that's the word, I detest horror movies. I actually can't understand how people could torment themselves to watch something like that. To say, I feel like you're actually torturing yourself to go through that. And then, how do you sleep at night, or how do you stand walking alone on the street without having fear that someone is behind you, going to hit you at the back, or someone's going to do something scary to you? I can't stand it. I'll say sometimes I'm even careful with the type of action movies I watch as well, because little things scare me. So horror movie, it's a no-no for me. And favorite book? Actually, I would say yes, I do have favorite book, and those are the books, any books written by Jojo Moyes, any books written by that lady. It's really nice. You need to, It could be criminology, it could be, I don't know if that's the right word, it could be fiction, it could be anything she's written. It's like it's out of nowhere. I really love her books, and I love books written by Daniel Steele as well. That's very nice books as well. And I kind of like I would say, in terms of reading books generally, I like non-fiction books, so books that are maybe a story about someone, real life story and things like that. So that's the books I love, if that answers the question. And up to the next one is, do you think international MFA students can be able to work here after their degree? I think that's what the question says. Okay, yes. From latest information that I've gathered recently, because I'm in third year and I'm sure I have some MFAM international students in my class, I think yes, they can work in this country if they choose to, but they just have to apply to places that support tier 2 or tier 4 visa sponsorship that can allow them to work and stay in the country. But I do know that there's something like that, where if you practice in UK as an international, you can work in this country thereafter. It's your choice to either go back to your country or if you want to stay here. However, you need to there are a list of most of the hospitals or communities or wherever you want to work. You need to make sure that they support tier 2 visa or tier 4 visa sponsorship, so that is your right to work in the UK. So, but I know if you are a student at the moment and you're currently at that stage, your university will give you a lot of information about it, because even they themselves will prefer to have their student that they've trained in this country rather work here instead of living. So your university will have a lot of information on how to go about that, if that answers your question as well. The next question is, what advice would I give to a first year pharmacy student? Okay, I would say have a good work-life balance. In your first year of pharmacy, because I did foundation, in which I'll talk about in another video, in your first year of pharmacy, because you're coming straight from A levels to a university, it's like there's no transition period for people coming straight from A levels to first year pharmacy. It's straight away, and you have a lot of work to do, piles of work. It gets really overwhelming and things, but don't worry, you have your whole of first semester to get yourself back on track and just kind of work your way around how to manage yourself. But with that, you still need to have a good work-life balance, because learning your good time management skills, organization skills in your first year would go a long way throughout the rest of your degree, because as you progress forward in pharmacy, it gets more complicated. Nothing gets easier, and it gets much more overwhelming, more workload, more content to cover. So your first year is like the minimum of it all, even though it might still seem overwhelming to you. But trying to find that balance on how to be on top of your work and at the same time having time for yourself. I wish I had someone that told me this during my first year, because no one said this to me, and there's less pharmacy related YouTubers on YouTube, so I find less information about it. But I'm happy that I can pass my experience and my ideas to somebody else. So please try to enjoy that time the most, because as you progress further through the years, it gets really more complicated, more overwhelming, because there is much more content you have to cover, much more workload, and finding balance might be difficult sometimes if you haven't learned it from your first year on how to work with balance and things. But yeah, it's also find time for yourself. It's very important. Time to just chill, either watching a movie, even if catching up on sleep is very important in your first year. I'll say you should do that. Try to, as first years, I would advise you, I don't know which university you are, to get close to your senior years senior students on your course, so like second, third, fourth years, get close to them, because they will give you the best tips ever that you need to literally pass through each stage of the whole degree. I'm telling you, I am here right now because of the help of God and me using a good networking skills to connect to my senior years. So if I'm going through anything or something like, oh my God, we have to, for example, and we have to do this coursework, I don't know how to go about it, go and ask them, and they'll say, oh, actually we had it, this is what you should do, I think you should work with it this way and this way. And before you know it, you're getting your work done, because they're not giving you the answers, but they will direct and guide you on how to get past through the situation you're going through at that moment. So that's very, very important. Also, try to socialize as much as you can, because I didn't socialize much during my first year at uni. I'll say foundation in first and second year, I didn't socialize more. I was more of myself kind of thing, but I then decided to start socializing in third year. I wish I had done it in my first few years of uni, then it would have been easier for me, and I would have made lifelong friends that I'm just making now. It's not like I'm not making new friends now, but try to socialize as much as you can, because you don't know when you will be able to help each other also in terms of your degree. Because someone might just be like, oh, I know this module better, so this person will teach you, because you're friends with them and socializing with them, instead of, oh, you're not socializing with anyone, you're by yourself, you struggle alone. So you have to mix with people so you can struggle together and overcome the struggle together. So that would be my tips for first years. The next question is, how do you feel now that I have revealed myself? Okay, that's a good question. I kind of feel a bit nervous, because I don't know how people are going to take it, and I don't know the force of feedback I'm going to get from people. I don't know if I'm going to go through the 8 we've been hearing a lot about, or it's just going to be cool. But either ways, I'm happy, and personally I'm doing this for myself and for people that want to learn and communicate and just share with each other. If there's someone out there that doesn't like something like that, cool, it's not by force, but it's a learning curve for me to actually come out in person and talk. But I do feel quite okay about it, because I know where I'm taking this channel to. And I know the main purpose of me bringing up my face now. I feel quite nervous, like I said, which is the reason why I did not show my face in the first instance, because I thought I would be judged. And personally, I am someone that is very, very sensitive to negative comments, very sensitive to when people say things to me, especially before anyone attacks me. I know I have an accent, so if so, no, I hope no one says that to me, because that will really touch me. That will really touch me, and it's going to be quite hard to get over it. But aside, I'll say how it goes, but I'm loving it at the moment. So yeah. And the next question is how to know a study method. Actually, let me see if I can get these questions full. How to know a study method that fits us. Okay, that's a good question as well. Well, actually, all the questions were good. No one question is better than the other. They were all good, great questions. To answer this question of how to know the study method that fits you is something that you have to find yourself. Personally, my study method is the use of flashcards and repetitive learning. Would I say memorization? That is my own study method. If I haven't memorized something, even though I've read it times and times, and I can't ask myself a question and repeat it back to myself without looking at the book or anything I'm using to revise, I haven't revised that thing. I don't know it. I don't know it. And I love to memorize things, especially people are like, oh, how do you memorize things word for word, and you can give it back word for word? I don't know if I would say I have a photographic memory, but that is my way of studying, because it's like I memorize it and then I understand what I'm doing, and then I can give it back in the exam in a constructive way. If I don't do it that way, I'll struggle. I'll just be waffling all through my answers. I'll just be writing A, Z, and it's not going to make any sense. So I have to memorize to kind of help me to construct my answers, to help me to understand what I'm supposed to write and things like that. You need to first of all find what works for you. Try every methods. I wouldn't say don't copy people. We all learn in different ways, so that wouldn't help you at all. Try to test every method you know about, either by reading to understand, or memorizing, or different methods of learning. Just try to see that and practice them per every exams you have. So it's like, for example, let's say you have 4 modules. Okay, you can decide to practice memorizing technique for one of the module and sit the exam, and then maybe try the other one and just using maybe understanding stuff, memorizing for the second exam. So when you get the results back, if you see with the ones you did better, compare. So if you did better in memorizing, that means that is your best way of learning. And if you did better in just understanding without memorizing, then that is your best way of learning. But for some people it works hand in hand for them. They memorize and understand, or they understand and memorize few words as well, which works hand in hand. But you just have to find what works for you by practicing. A lot of practicing, a lot of trying. There's a thing called try and error. Try, if it doesn't work, you try another thing. So that is what I would say. So with that being said, this brings me to the end of the quick Q&A session of me coming to you and showing my face. So thank you so much for asking me those questions. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also share with your friends so they can also come and join the big family as well. Thank you so much guys, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.